Welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Arionne Curry. I would say since the breakup, but I can't even say that because I told you guys like so many months ago that her and Martell was broken up. So I don't think this is news to her at all. Now, maybe the issue of the other woman might be news, but I don't even think that's news according to this spread. We got the Queen of Cups here. That's who's been showing up in the readings. I think maybe 4 readings in a row. Who that is, I don't know. You know what I mean? Is it a person from the past, the future, the present? Who can tell, right? Yeah, so we're going to be taking a look into her current energies. Before we get started, please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you have your notification bells on. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting my social commentary video. Sometimes when you're known for doing one thing, people they won't let you go do something else. And to see that you guys show just as much support towards that video as others, that really touched my heart. So thank you guys so much. I hope that I can factor in more social commentary, not regularly, but maybe once a week or once a month or so. Right now, I've been working on kind of like piece puzzling this reality TV pyramid scheme hunch that I have, and ironing that out. So I think I might be putting something together for you guys soon. You know, not to say that it's absolute truth, but something to muse about, right? Something to twirl around in your brain, and see how you feel about it, right? Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Obviously, I'm finna launch a new product. Been up to that as well. Hope you guys show a lot of support when the time comes for that. Yeah, so that's all for my community announcements. But yeah, if I didn't say so, like the video, subscribe, and let's get started. So Arionne is coming in as the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse as well. So these are 2 money cards, and they're both in reverse. Now, I showed Arionne was broke a long time ago. I think she went broke like in February, sometime after tax time. She started coming in the spreads as broke, and I don't see, that sounds funny to say that word, but I don't see things as having changed or having gotten better at all. Her foundation, I don't know if she was used to like getting some type of support, but it looks like either in the past or maybe now, she's dependent on somebody. I don't know if she's living back with family, but it looks like she's depending on a relative or someone in her life to kind of help sustain her, because she's lost some type of independence, and she's trying to figure out how to get back what she's lost. Now, the issue though is showing that with the 3 of Pentacles, this is like 3 of Pentacles represents self-employment, and this is like saying that you're mediocre in your field, or that you don't know how to get your business off the ground, or you're not like learning things, or she's not really like studying the trends of her business to see how to move in this kind of like time that we're in. Now, it does show that she was relying on some type of support or for somebody to teach her the ropes, but it looks like a bunch of people like abandoned her and kind of like kicked her out of the friend group. Now, I was thinking that maybe this has something to do with like Martell, or some of his friends or other people that she had made connections to that were connected to Martell. Now, it's my guess that at some point maybe she used to talk to all of them, you know what I mean? Or they were at least cool with her, and she got dropped. Now, what reason was that? I'm not sure. It could be for telling their business. It could be for getting them caught up. I'm not sure. But it looks like almost everybody turned their back on her at the same time. You know what I mean? So they pretty much like kicked her out of the circle of trust, the circle of side chick trust, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, I'm showing that she's definitely lacking some type of confidence, and even ambition, you know what I mean, to really make something happen for her own. And I feel like all she does is think about what she wants to do, but she don't really know what to do. And maybe she was relying on this group of people because it seems like there's nobody or nothing in her life even close to the connections that she made or the proximity, whether it be in clout or whether it be in actual physical proximity, to the men she came in contact with on Huntsville, who seem to have a lot of know-how and whatever it is they do. And I don't know, like I said, if somebody was promising to help her, get her shit off the ground, give her information, give her some type of connection, but it looks like she was dropped. Yeah, that's what I want to say about that. I'm also showing that Arionne, she's like, there's some temptation that she's having that she's trying to resist. Now, I'm showing that she's bored, first of all, but when you're broke, you are bored, right? You don't have the money to expose yourself to entertainment or things that can take your mind off things. So I show that she's like in this period of kind of like overthinking, and she's also stalking. Not only is she stalking Martell, she's also stalking other members of the cast. Now, like I said, I don't know if this was because they stopped being friends with her, or they dropped her, or maybe even she's stalking the people that they were dealing with. You know, maybe she hooked them up with some people, you know, when they were all doing their cheating thing. She's looking people up, whatever the situation is. And I'm talking about the Page of Swords in reverse, as well as the Three of Cups in reverse. And to me, this represents her. The Page of Swords, period, is a spy. You know what I mean? But when it's reversed, in my opinion, it's an angry stalker. You know what I mean? The Page of Swords got a lot of mouth, a lot of attitude. When you put it in reverse, you basically put the 2 on the 10. You know what I mean? And so if you look at a spy, and what is the opposite? Not even the opposite, but what is the negative implication to a spy? It's a fucking stalker. You know what I mean? And like I said, with this friend group being here with this Three of Cups, I feel like she was like ostracized in some type of way. I'm gonna take a look at that a little bit more, right? But for the most part, she has like this secret vendetta from feeling like she was taken advantage of. I don't know if she was like the go-between. I don't know if she was the keeper of secrets. She was definitely probably at some point Miss Wanna Be Down, but like I said, it looks like everybody just kind of let her go, and for some reason she's kind of feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? Now with this Page of Swords, she might even be going as far as to say like she was taken advantage of because of her age, because the Page of Swords is like a young person, and when you think about youth and young people, you think about people who are kind of like easy prey. You know what I mean? And this is just dawned on me. When I very, very first read Arionne, it was like showing something in her reading where she had like this aversion to perverts. You know what I mean? Now, even though she may have been dealing with one or deals with them, there's like something inside of her where she like secretly loathes them and wants to like bring them down in some type of way. You know what I mean? Now, with her, with this Page of Swords energy, and even with this Nine of Pentacles right here, which is also in reverse, that's kind of like, it's kind of like giving me an anger over being taken advantage of, right? But feeling like you were taken advantage of over people who were predatory towards you. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is something that she's learning herself, or if somebody's having like conversations that are giving her the spark to think and to believe that she was taken advantage of. But it's giving this overall vibe of her not feeling like it was such her opinion, or not her opinion, but she thought she was in control, basically. You know what I mean? Now she's looking at things like, wait a minute, was I duped into this? Or wait a minute, did I get taken advantage of? Was I manipulated? You know what I mean? She's looking at things that way. Now, in my opinion, that's just a way for people to escape accountability. You know what I mean? When you're winning, you want to ride high, you want to claim the throne, and when you're losing, you want to act like somebody tripped you. You know what I mean? It don't work like that, right? Keep that same fucking energy, right? But yeah, that's how I'm kind of seeing it like that. She feels threatened though. She feels like her security was threatened in some type of way. She feels like I said, maybe she was like, maybe people pretended to be friends with her. You know, it could be a situation where, not to say like Martell like insulated her, but it was definitely a situation where she thought she was part of the in crowd or part of the in group, and now she's learning that was only as long as you were attached to this person. And now that you and this person are done, all those friendships or all those daps people gave you, or all that texting you to be a go-between between them and bitches they wanted to cheat with, that shit's dry. That shit's dry. Nobody really fuck with you like that. But I think that she thought that they did. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know if Arionne, I don't even know if she has a car or if she's trying to fuck up somebody's shit, but she has something. I feel like she has something of Martell's in her possession. It could be a car. It could be some jewelry. It could be a watch. It could be something that means something to him. I think it's a watch. I don't know why I think it's a watch, but I feel like she's like gonna break his watch. I don't know if he has some type of like link on it or something, but it looks like I don't know if she's like even trying to be funny, maybe like running it over with the car. You know how some things are like titanium or they're like made out of metal that can't break easy? Maybe she's trying to like crush the face of it with a tire of a car or something like that. But I'm feeling like she has something that belongs to him and she's trying to like damage it, but I don't really know how. Or maybe she's just trying to steal it or pawn it, because sometimes with the Nine of Pentacles this is about stealing, and with this three of Pentacles here, I could almost see that as like a workplace. And so I wonder if there's something that she has of his that she's like taken to the pawn shop. Listen, I know that sounds weird, but there's something that she's doing that's like underhanded because she's upset. And I think it has to do with some property that he left behind. That's just what I'm getting. I don't really know what to say about it. Whatever it is, she digging some type of hole for herself. And again, I don't know if she's trying to get money because she's like, it's something with her business. I know she has this online boutique, but I feel like things are going really poorly for her. She's also upset because she feels like she's not getting the attention that she needs. She feels unseen and unnoticed. I don't know if that has to do with like bloggers, because sometimes the Page of Swords can represent bloggers. At least I'll call them bloggers or reporters or journalists in my spreads. I'm sorry, I have to adjust myself in this chair. So if my inflection changes, I'm sorry. But I'm feeling like there's something where she's feeling like, I don't want to say everybody ignored her, but she's feeling like she was wiped off the face of the earth, and she's trying to figure out like how to make some noise. You know what I mean? Or how to bring some type of attention to herself. I feel like she's planning that right now. There's a lot of things that she did that the way she moves is like sloppy, and I think that translated over to her business. But really I feel like she's just Three of Pentacles in reverse is like a card of like being mediocre. Now I don't know if you're being mediocre because you just don't have the money. You know what I mean? Like, listen, when I started my business, I had to handwrite my labels. You know what I mean? Now, that doesn't look like the normal UPS labels that people normally get through label makers and things like that. So it can look, you know, mediocre. So I don't know if this is a situation like that where she's just starting out or something. But but with her, it's not like it's looking like she had the best intentions and just is not there yet. No, this is just her like throwing shit together. So if she is getting orders, I don't know if she's not like wrapping people shit the correct way, or, you know, just putting like those signature touches on it to let people know that you care, or her products or something. She's doing something sloppy. And the cold part about it is she doesn't really know what she's doing as far as like her business, but she don't want to ask for no help. You know what I mean? Because I think the people who were in a position to help her are not talking to her, are not dealing with her anymore. Even if she was talking, I don't know if she ever dealt with any of the other men's wives, but even if she ever talked to any of them, it's almost like she's never existed. You know what I mean? It's like she never existed, and she's kind of feeling that. She's also developing conspiracies in her head to try to figure out why people all of a sudden just cut her off, because in her mind, she's like, me and Martell been up and down having our issues, and she's always been able to like maintain some type of like camaraderie or connection. I think maybe with like Maurice and Marcel, maybe, or even some of his other friends that don't have nothing to do with the show. But now it's like everybody cut her off. Now, this was interesting too that I noticed about this spread. So you guys remember in Martell's reading, I said I was going to do a part 2, right? I didn't get around to it. I had to work that day, but it was a whole nother side of the spread. And remember, I mentioned something about paternity in that spread. Now, when I got back home, I didn't do the spread. The moment passed, tarot, the moment passed, energy change. It just don't feel right to go back to an old spread sometimes. You know what I mean? At least not for me, because it's like a whole process for me. Like I cleanse the decks, I anoint the decks, and I just didn't do it. But I remember there being cards of paternity on there, because it was the 9 of Wands, and then the 10 of Cups was there, which was talking about somebody who was walking away and didn't want to be a father no more. Now I know a lot of you guys attribute that to, I think y'all said Martell not claiming like the youngest girl, sugar mama. I understand what you guys are saying, but that's not what the cards are showing. The cards have shown that that's his favorite, period, point blank. I don't know what he acts like, but the little girl got his whole heart. Okay, so I can't speak to like the cruel things that he said or done, and I'm not going to. I'm just telling y'all what the card said. So I don't think that's accurate. What you guys feel about that, I just don't think it's accurate according to the cards. Now, paternity though was an issue, and it came up in the last spread, and it's repeating again in this spread, and it's coming in an external position, which means that there's somebody outside of you that is coming in, doing something with paternity, or even questioning paternity, or whatever the circumstances are. But the card is that 10 of Cups in reverse. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Martell's reading, right? The one where I forgot. I think he had the little boxing outfit on. He had no shirt on in the thumbnail that I made, right? He was coming in as a 10 of Cups in reverse. That was his opening, right? Now, in the external position of her spread is this same card. So to me, that represents his energy in her spread. The 10 of Cups in reverse was about someone rejecting fatherhood or deciding not to have anything to do with their children. Now, could that be Melly's children? It could be, but could it also be her child? And then coupled with that issue of paternity, like, I don't know if they took a paternity test or not, but theoretically, it's almost saying like, is there an issue of paternity that put the nail in the coffin regarding this relationship? You know what I mean? To where you were cut off cold turkey in a way. I'm not sure, but I just found it really interesting that this issue of paternity is just all of a sudden surfacing in these spreads. So I don't know. Like I said, he could have already established paternity amongst all his kids, and that's not a factor. I know if you going for custody, child support, anything like that, the courts do DNA tests already. So I ain't even counting the ones he in court for. It has to be something else. You know what I mean? But other than that, like I said, this is just somebody just walking away from their obligations to a child or to a family or to children. You know what I mean? And it could be just, I don't know. It could just be, I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me. But we'll get to it and see what's going on. All right. So that's what we're coming in at. Then there's some energy here that was really tripping me out, right? This energy was the 5 of Cups in reverse, and is clarified by the Knight of Wands, who is also in reverse. The Knight of Wands in reverse can represent a separation, right? The Knight of Wands represents like movement, but when it's in reverse, sometimes it represents separation, right? But when it's in reverse, there's like, it's debilitated energy, right? Now, the 5 of Cups is here in reverse, which also represents, it's almost like a sense of like grief, right? Or regret or unfulfilled promises. You know what I mean? And I was getting a vibe of Arionne really thought that her and Martell was going to be like together. You know what I mean? Or married or something like that. And what happened was like the opposite. It was like a complete separation. You know what I mean? I honestly think that they talked about, and I feel like they talked about marriage, or even maybe he was like drunk one night, or they were drunk one night, or I don't know, maybe feeling vulnerable or in love one night, but it looks like there was a proposal between them at some point, or some type of engagement that was like broken off. You know what I mean? But for some reason, I feel like it was one of those situations where it was like in the heat of some type of passion. I don't know if it was like a makeup situation. Like, he could be one of those guys who, when they get in trouble, they overpromise things. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when they're afraid to be left. You know, some guys, and I've identified Martell as having some abandonment issues, and that being the crux of why he was so clingy towards his kids. But another way that those type of guys operate is that they don't have problem leaving people, they have problems being left. And so even if they are ready to walk out the door, if it turns out a woman tries to leave them, then their abandonment issues will kick in on autopilot, and they'll start to like beg for something that they don't even want. You know what I mean? Or something that they were on their way to leave in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like very important that these guys do things on their own terms for things to stick. But like arguments, heated moments of passion, they're most likely going to return depending on the manipulation of that woman to flip them. And I had already shown that Arionne and Martell, they manipulate each other, but it really has a lot to do with her. I'm not blaming her because she's the woman. I'm just talking about their spreads. And she was basically controlling him through his ego. You know what I mean? And through kind of like creating this ride or die, like, what do they call it? Simulation. You know what I mean? But it wasn't real. It was like a simulated environment or whatever, right? And I feel like, listen, you get with a nigga when they in a weakened and vulnerable position, that's how a lot of these hoes be pouncing, right? I don't believe in that. Like, a nigga gotta choose me at 100%. And vice versa for me too. You know what I mean? I'll tell a nigga straight up, like, yeah, it feels like I love you now, but all my options aren't open. You know what I mean? If I'm struggling financially or I'm grieving something, what is my love you worth? I'm not even the woman I want to be. You know what I mean? But if I choose you at the woman I want to be, then I'm probably down with you. But while I'm transitioning and changing, I don't think you should, you know, I think you should, keep your options open, because I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get where I'm trying to get. You know what I mean? And that's just being real. It's funny because I was having a conversation with my son, and I was telling him that, I was just telling him the mind of a woman, and that sometimes you try to be honest, you know what I mean, and say, like, yeah, we're in this relationship. Yeah, I'm professing my love to you, but yeah, I'm doing that from a state of not being the woman I want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working towards something, and when I get to where I want to be and who I want to be, I cannot guarantee you that I'm gonna want this. You know what I mean? Like, that's just real talk. And he was like, see, that's just dirty, because that just means you never loved me. Just talking hypothetically about women, and that's why I'm not giving my heart to one, etc. Like, it really, really turned him off. And it kind of let me know, like, how important love is for boys, or is for men. But at the same time, the truth has to be prioritized, you know what I mean, over your dreams about a situation. And if somebody is telling you, hey, I don't know where I'm at with this, then instead of focusing on that you're loved or not loved, then you just have to say, okay, I have a decision to make, you know what I mean? But people want what they want, and they try to sometimes force what doesn't fit, but yeah, it was just an honest conversation, but he was turned off by it, you know what I mean? So I think most guys would be, but it is what it is, right? Anyways, this 5 of Cups is here in reverse, and it was clarified by this Knight of Wands in reverse. And like I said, the Knight of Wands represents like some type of like separation, you know what I mean, or some type of breakup, but this was like after, especially with this 5 of Cups, this is after some type of like promise or some type of engagement. So I feel like she's thinking about what they were supposed to be doing, and then there's a part of her that's like in denial about the fact that like that's not happening. So when I was thinking about it in the context of the show and Martell, let's take Sheree for example, or other women that he may have brought through the show. I don't know, right? It could have been explained to her, or it could have been understood, quote unquote, like that these were business arrangements. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, it's almost like a man telling you like, oh, I don't love her, I just work with her, or that's my coworker, or that's my co-host, or I don't have nothing to do with her. You know what I mean? And so you're like, okay, well, that's nothing. But then something real happens, but you're still telling yourself, oh, he must be, just dealing with this other person for the show, or there's like some other reason why he's dealing with this other person. But you really know that you kind of lost this person, like he's really dealing with this person for real. And that's what I think it is. She's in denial about like this loss or this relationship like being over, because I think she thinks that he's only dealing with, and he could have told her this, she thinks that he's only dealing with somebody else as part of like a storyline or business arrangement or the show. But there is, and he could have told her this, I think he did, as a matter of fact, but there's something in her that already knows anyway, and she's just trying to like be in denial. You know what I mean? She knows that he's not connecting with her, like they haven't had no quality time. If they have seen each other, it's been more touch and go, and now she's like feeling like she's like the victim or whatever. That's the kind of role that she's playing with, but she's trying to like hide how sad she is because she don't want nobody to know. And so it's like coming across as her like trying to like project like this happy, like bright, energetic vibe, but she's trying to like hide the fact that I feel like he snuck and left her, y'all. Because the reason why I said it is because I seen in another reading where he was like trying to sneak out. You know what I mean? And I feel like he like carved out this relationship with this other woman under the guise of like working with that person. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. And then it turned out that he kind of like left, like snuck and left. And like I said, I don't know if that has to do with the kid, because that did show up, you know what I mean? And I have to mention that, so I don't know if that played a part in it. And the cold part about it is a lot of this started transpiring after she made that comment about the little revenge, but having a revenge baby and shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it is. So Arionne, now she like in this position where she don't have no place to go. You know what I mean? Like nobody to lean on. I even feel like at some point she was able to call like Martell's friends about them or things that they were going through, and I don't know if they were instructed to cut her off, but she got the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups both in reverse, and then she has the Three of Swords in the upright. So this is definitely you being cut off by somebody's network or circle, you know what I mean, and being really, really heartbroken over that, yeah. But anyways, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like she thought Martell was just, doing something for the show, trying to, I don't want to play it into my next commentary, but maybe she thought he was trying to poach some new talent or something, and that was not the case. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's feeling impatient though, because I think like maybe the sadness is like overwhelming her, and so she's like trying to figure out how she can like get in between this shit. Like she wants to create some type of drama. There's even a card over here of her like, she's hoping to, this is sad, you guys, but she's hoping to be the side again. You know what I mean? If he is with somebody, she's hoping that he will at least have her as the side. Maybe she's just comfortable with that position. You know what I mean? I saw that in one of her readings too, where she wasn't comfortable unless she had something to compare herself against, because there's something with her where she doesn't know like her role, or she only knows herself opposite something else, you know what I mean, or in comparison to something else. So I don't feel like she's very good when it's just the two of them at all, because that's just not how her brain works. She has to be something in relationship to something else. You know what I mean? That showed up in another one of her readings as well. So I show that whatever situation he has going on, she's hoping or trying to figure out how to have him deal with her on the side. You know what I mean? And she's okay with being like the secret. Like, she's okay with what she wants to do is she wants to do some shit like with this Knight of Wands. She wants to do like some thrill seeking type shit. You know what I mean? Like, she wants to, maybe she's researching like a place to take him, maybe like a sex club, or you know, or something like, or you know, hop in a car or have sex on the freeway. She wants to do something like that to like I don't want to say re-traumatize or re-trauma bond, but like attached to him, because they seem to be attached through like thrills. You know what I mean? Maybe they were addicted to the thrill of sneaking, or the thrill of doing something like, you know, that they shouldn't be doing, and that was part of the allure of the relationship just as much as each other. So I feel like she's trying to reattach him through that. But like I said, I seen in his spread that he was trying to exercise sexual discipline, and so I don't think that she's gonna be able to get in that way. You know what I mean? I don't. And so then what she's going into, she's going to this Page of Cup in reverse to this Hierophant, and she's gonna try to manipulate that she's had some type of spiritual growth. So it's almost giving me like the impression that she's like laying low, or she's not bothering them physically right now. She's like laying low or pretending to be unbothered and happy, but really she's stalking them. She's stalking, she's spying, she's stalking all his friends, she's stalking everybody, but she's quiet. You know what I mean? But I also feel like she's studying on how to fabricate some type of spiritual growth, because the Page of Cups in reverse is like a manipulator, and then you have this Hierophant, and so I feel like she's like going to be trying to like pretend that she's grown in some type of way in order to like get his attention. And her goal in getting his attention is to try to turn him out again by taking him on some type of thrill. Now, I hate to mention threesomes, but Three of Cups, Three of Coins in reverse, these are third party situations. And so it does give me the vibe that, you know, like maybe that's a lure for him, or something that he's asked for, or something that she wants to offer him. But again, it's to try to get him, one, to cheat on his whatever he's dealing with, and two, to kind of like rebond through those thrills that they used to share. But I feel like because of the I feel like he's in like a state where he's trying to like not go down that road. I don't want to say like he's trying to like fix himself or nothing, but he's just not really on that right now. He's much more, he's not in that mind frame. I'll put it that way. But that's why I feel like she's going to try to entice him by pretending to be on the same path as him spiritually or mentally, and then going to like sneak and try to like get him to like come off his path. You know what I mean? Whatever path he's on. That's what I think that she's up to. She has that Ten of Swords, which is her energy right now, and this is the card that was tripping me out, because it was like clarifying that Queen of Cups, and you guys know the Queen of Cups is who I've been seeing in these spreads, so I'm assuming that that's the person that he's dealing with. It's just an assumption though, right? The Ten of Swords though, when it's in reverse, this is like, it's like her feeling pitiful for herself. For one, for her, the girl heart is broke, number one. Let me just say that. She got the Seven of Wands in reverse, and then that's clarified by the Three of Swords upright. So the girl's heart is broken. You know what I mean? She's paranoid. She's confused. She don't know if she should hold on to him and wait and be loyal and prove herself. You know what I mean? Like the bitch, excuse my language, the girl is she's a cuck. Y'all know what a cuck is? A man who sit up and watch his wife get fucked by another man. She's a cuck. She's sitting up and watching her man be with another woman, because she doesn't know because she's seen him with multiple women, and she's always assumed or told herself that it had to do with business, or it was like storylines for the show. So there's a part of her that's like trained to like wait for him, I guess you could say. So now she's sitting up confused, even though her heart is breaking. Like, she's crying a lot, like a lot. She still don't know if like, she doesn't know what's the real. And then I guess he's not talking to her, maybe, right? Because he's with this 10 of cups in reverse. He's walking away. 10 of cups in reverse is an empty nest. To me, this looks like, I don't know if he's living by himself, if he had to get an apartment, he had to get his own place. But an empty nest means ain't nobody living with you. You know what I mean? So it makes me wonder, like, are you in a studio, a hotel? Like, what's your living situation? Matter of fact, speaking of hotel, did you guys make a prophecy for that nigga by calling him hotel, and now he live in one? You know what I mean? Like, did that shit manifest like that? But yeah, definitely showing that that's how she's feeling. She's feeling stuck, right? So she got this 10 of swords in reverse next to this 10 of cups, right? Sometimes the 10 of swords in reverse can represent like a temporary gain or a temporary advantage, or some type of like temporary relief. And with this queen of cups, I could say that like maybe there's something that emotionally relieves her in some type of way. I don't know if this is a conversation that they're going to have, where you know, sometimes I can take it with this 10 of cups. I mean, with the queen of cups, sometimes, especially with this page of cups in reverse right across from it, sometimes the queen of cups can be a little bit of a damsel. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she's gonna like I said, she's fabricating some type of spiritual growth, but I'm also wondering if she's gonna like make him feel sorry for her in some type of way to like get to a conversation. You know what I mean? It looks like that to me, because there's this sense here of some type of like self-pity. I don't know if she, like I said, I don't know if she gonna be like telling him like, you know, like, I can't let go just like that. Like, how you expect me to just let go? I don't know, but there's something where she's like refusing to give up so easily. You know what I mean? I don't want to say she threatened to like do something to the other girl, but she might be acting like crazy. Like, she might be like trying to like imply that she would like do something to the other girl. You know what I mean? But again, I feel like this is like part of her, not just to get attention, but to get him to like acquiesce to her demands, which in her case, she just want enough time to just turn him out real quick. You know what I mean? She thinks that she's still holding whatever that lure was over him, that she had over him when he was in whatever vulnerable state that they ended up with each other in the first place, if that makes any sense. So she's trying to like she's trying to figure out how to get in his head again. You know what I mean? She's trying to figure out how to use her emotions to reattach to his emotions, so that she can create another either thrill-seeking bond or trauma bond. I don't know what it's called, because honestly, I never heard of nothing like this. But instead of it being a trauma bond, they bond through, I don't know, like, for some reason I want to say clandestine nights, but it's not even that. It's like, it's like secrets or something. Like, they bond through doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, Arionne also been sick. I don't know what kind of sickness this is though. She been sick, so I don't even know if she gonna call him and tell him, you know, that she been sick, or the kid been sick or something like that. But somebody was sick or something like that. Something like that came up. I don't know if that's what she gonna be using to, you know, try to get back into this conversation. I'm not sure. All I know is that that's kind of where she's at with it. And she, like I said, she has like this sense where she want to like tear some shit down. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that means like her telling something, revealing something. She has the 7 of Wands in reverse with this 3 of Swords. This is a person whose heart, like I said, crying, who's heartbroken, mentally stressed and fucked up, but also paranoid. And I think that paranoia comes from her. Like I said, she's confused about whether or not he's really in another situation. She don't know, you know what I mean? Because she been like groomed or conditioned to accept him dealing with other people as part of like a business arrangement. You know what I mean? So this ain't the first time he's been with somebody or had fake relationships with somebody. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I feel like he put her on ice in that way so he could sneak out. But maybe she's finding out that this is real or something. So now she, like I said, she's stalking through his friends. I don't know if she's looking through his family pictures. She's looking for some information to corroborate whether or not he's really fucking with this other girl, or whether or not this is like a relationship that's fabricated for the blogs, or something that he told her in order so he could sneak away. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she's like paranoid, and she's like trying to tear down the house. You know what I mean? Or figure out how to get to the real information. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like I don't know if she played crazy or if she actually crazy, but it's something that she thinking about doing. Maybe that's back to that property damage where it's like her friends and shit is trying to talk her out of it. I don't know, but it's something she's trying to do and people trying to talk her out of it. And so since people keep trying to talk her out of doing crazy shit, now she like going off by herself. You know what I mean? So I don't know. She in her own little zone, but in her own zone, she's heavily stalking all y'all. You know what I mean? She's also 7 of Wands. She's also very, very embarrassed right now. If there is news of him being with somebody else. Has he confirmed it? Maybe not, but she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. Very much so. And I don't know if this is the source of her pain too. You know what I mean? She like coming off as, in this spread, she coming off as like a little narcissist herself. You know what I mean? Very passive aggressive in her behavior. You know what I mean? But now she I feel like she's forced to back down because she's so confused that she don't really know what's going on. She's not getting no answers. I don't even know if Martell is still lying to her as he sneaks away. You know what I mean? I don't feel with this 10 of Cups, emptiness, not wanting to be a father. I definitely don't feel like he's being around their kid. I feel like he's just choosing other things over that. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know if that's because he questions paternity, because I got 2 cards. I got paternity in 2 different spreads. So I don't know. Or is he using that as an excuse? You know what I mean? Like, is he the type of person that just lets her go and go and go, and then he, you know how some people give you the rope long enough to hang yourself, and then he just reels all those hooks back in, setting a trap. That's what I'm saying with all this copyright. Let that shit happen. Just start letting them just reel them all up, add them all up. You know what I mean? But it seems like he's been adding her up in some type of way. Very angry, very aggressive. And I feel like, like I said, she's sad and she's trying to hide it. And this 7 of Wands is giving me like she's like overcompensating for something. You know what I mean? Because she's hurt. You know what I mean? I feel like she's overcompensating by acting like strong or angry, or even acting overly like happy and unbothered. You know how everybody these days, we don't catch feelings, we catch flights. I'm Mrs. Unbothered. No, not me. I'm Miss Very Bothered. I be very bothered, so I don't even play that. She's very bothered. You know what I mean? She's very bothered. Very discouraged. Very, very feeling like a victim. Very feeling like, I feel like she was taken advantage of or preyed upon by him and his friend group. You know what I mean? She got anxiety. I think she got an anxiety disorder too, or something like that. Maybe that's why she has so many outbursts, because of her anxiety. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what she's going through. I mean, I know we don't have no mercies on no side chicks, but you know, I have mercy on everybody, because I feel like it's a reason how women end up in those positions, and you really just can't judge. You know, people do horrible things from low states in their lives. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's an excuse for it, but I'm saying that everybody need understanding. You know what I mean? Even her. So I don't know. It's many reasons why women choose to be the other woman, why they choose to assault other women. And if you can have pity on a man, you know, for acting the way he's acting because of things that he's been through, then you can have pity on another woman for acting the way she acts for things that she's been through in her life. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the spread, you guys. So let me know what you think. Of course, sound off in the comments. Yeah, and guess what? I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel.